Hello, inhabitants of the online population. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, welcome to Give It the Beans. Today I have a review of the all-new 2022 Hyundai Tucson. And the fun fact about this Tucson is, if you didn't know, I'm in Tucson. I'm reviewing a Tucson in Tucson. That's Inception. Anyway, let's get this thing up on the lift and do a full in-depth mechanical review of this new Tucson. Up. Up. Hey, the little Michelin man is waving. Hi. Hello. Up. First things first, look at all the triangles on this back diffuser. It's like art. I guess that's why they named it Tucson. This Tucson that I'm reviewing is the all-wheel drive limited model with the H-Track all-wheel drive system. So as you'll notice right above my head is a rear differential. The H-Track all-wheel drive system utilizes an open rear differential that has brake-induced torque vectoring capabilities to distribute the torque left or right to the multi-link style rear suspension. Everything back here is made out of steel other than the rear knuckles, those are aluminum. I thought this was kind of funny and worth putting in the video. This right here is one of the rear axles. And this right here is my thumb. It's about the same diameter as my thumb. Even though this is all-wheel drive, it is not intended for serious off-roading, obviously, because there are no skid plates really anywhere underneath the underside of this Tucson. There's a bunch of smooth, flat flooring that is that fabric cardboard type stuff to help with sound insulation. And that's about it, really. It's a fairly simple Haldex style design. There's a little carrier bearing right here in the center, and that's about it. Yeah, that sounds kind of hollow. Now here's a major plus. This is something I love to see. This is an all-wheel drive transversely mounted layout, and there's a ton of access for maintenance on the back side of this subframe. You can see your steering rack right there, and there is where the transfer case is. The drive shaft is mounted to. And you got your Cadillac converter. I mean, there is tons of room up in here. This would not be that bad to work on. This is something I've personally seen a ton of reviewing new Hyundai products over the past couple years now. I feel like behind the scenes, the engineers are friends with technicians and they communicate and they talk about how much of an ass pain it is to work on new cars. And the engineers are like, cool, we'll make your life a little bit easier. Because they really do. These cars stand out to me as being easier to work on as far as accessibility to components goes. Stuff like this, the dog bone mount on the transmission. Look how easy it is to get to this thing. That's just adorable. There's a little oil can emoji on the little flapper access panel, so that way you can get to the underside of the engine to do oil changes. Second one right here. Up front, the suspension is similar construction to the rear, but this is a McPherson strut style design. As far as the transmission up above this front subframe goes, it is an in-house designed 8-speed Shiptronic automatic transmission that is paired to an electronic variable torque split center differential that can transfer up to 50% of the torque to those rear wheels. In the name of science, I am now going to give this thing the beans. I have multiple drive modes I can go through, from normal to sport to smart to snow. I'm gonna put it in snow. I'm just joking. I'm gonna put it in sport. Turn off traction control. I'm gonna lock my center diff, which makes it an even 50-50. There's a B outside the window. Torque distribution. I can't turn the camera around to show you. Anyway, let's see what this thing can do. Ready? Go. Come on. It sounds angry. Go. Come on. That's good. It sounds like it wants to go. Just there's a lot of weight for that little thing to cart around. Now, as far as the wheels go, this limited package comes with some 19 by 7.5 cast aluminum wheels that are wrapped in a 235/55 19-inch Michelin Primacy all-season tire. Behind these wheels that look like they were designed by a Metallica enthusiast are a set of single pot front calipers with a 12.8-inch front rotor. And in the rear, you have another single pot caliper. However, these have a 12-inch rear rotor. Now let's see if they can rip my face off. It's time for the braking test. There's no one behind me. Ready? Begin. Whee! That was such a delayed response. I slammed on the brakes and like, it was just like, stop. Oh, that's a heavy hood. Hello, and once again, I look like a corpse on camera. Why am I so pale looking? It's the lighting, I swear. I'm tan right now. Underneath the hood of this 2022 Hyundai Tucson is the 2.5 liter GDI SmartStream dual overhead cam, port and direct injected, all aluminum 4-cylinder that produces 187 horsepower at 6,100 RPM and 178 pound-feet of mosquito at 4,000 RPM. Ooh, jeez. All right, got a plastic valve cover, and that's foam. It's got foam over the coil packs. Must help keep the direct injection a little bit quieter because it's a noisy system. Look at the back side over here where the exhaust manifold is. Oh yeah, there's a big cavity back there. Plastic intake manifold. The air box kind of looks like a robot's face. Its eyes. You open its mouth to change the filter. Some other fun facts about this SmartStream 2.5 liter is that it has an 85.5 millimeter by 101.5 millimeter bore and stroke with a 13:1 compression ratio. So here's a neat trick. Check this out. It's got remote start, but what's more important is this. I can back it out of the garage with a remote. How awesome is this? It's time to do some off-roading in the Tucson. I'm at the gravel pit. This just doesn't get any better than this. I want to see if this thing can make it through the gravel pit. I'm gonna lock my center diff. I'm gonna leave traction control on. Here it goes. Ooh, this is sketchy. This is probably the limit of what I would take through here. Okay, it made it. I don't think I'm gonna take anything less capable off-road than this through that pit ever again. That was, This little Tucson by no means is meant to do any serious off-roading. So just about everything I do out here is gonna be a delightful surprise if it succeeds. I mean, this is some pretty gnarly terrain for a little crossover with no skid plating and 19-inch wheels. It's just floating through this sand, no problem. No problem at all. Can I see if it'll do a donut? Woo! A little bit of a donut. All right, I'm at the hill that I just reviewed the Outback Wilderness on, and it failed to climb this hill. So, let's see if the little Tucson can do it. Got the trail cam turned on, center diff is locked, traction control is turned off. I don't think it's gonna do it, but let's see if it'll do it. Here goes Tucson. Okay. No, it's not. I don't think it's gonna climb this. Let me try a different line. I don't want to go aggressive at it and break anything, so I'm trying to go without a ton of speed. No. It locks the center diff, but with open front and rear differentials, it's not having it. I gotta give this little Tucson a shot at some form of a hill. We'll try this one. This does have a 17.9 degree approach and a 24.5 degree departure. Ooh, come on, you can do it. Yeah, you got this, little Tucson. Climb to the top of Tucson. Tucson Dirt Mound. Good job. This little thing just makes me happy because it's cute. Well, it's a cute car that looks like an alien in the front end. Those headlights are fire. I absolutely love how the headlights protrude through the grille and all those different spots. This thing also has a hill control. Huh. This thing actually has a downhill assist also. Well, let's see. Yep. Look at that. It's got hill descent control. See, it's got all the tech features as some off-road 4x4 trucks. It's just lacking tires, some ground clearance, and a good, proper off-road shock. And I bet you this thing would do all right. We're gonna see if it likes a little rally special stage. These tires are not the greatest for off-road. Yeah, it's not bad at this. Get it, little Tucson. Ooh. And we'll go around the tree this way. Back around this way. You know, I think some good tires would go a long way on this because the H-Track system is doing a pretty good job. It doesn't even feel front wheel drive bias with the center diff lock. My overall summary of this little Tucson is this. Off-roading, I think some modifications would make this thing fairly decent off-road for what it is. Tires and shocks, and it'd probably do all right. The inside, it feels like a luxury vehicle, and this one's fully spec'd out at $37,000 and change. And it legit, it feels like a little luxury car in here. There's all kinds of weird features like the holes in the C-pillar that you can stick the metal end of the seatbelt in there to hold it in place so it's not dangling around. That's high class. And this diffuse feature on the climate control where it's just got a big unibrow vent across the dash. That's kind of fancy. And the infotainment and gauge cluster are pretty, and they make bird noises, and there's tons of safety and tech features in here. I think you get a shitload for your money, honestly. Fuel economy wise, it's not bad for a little all-wheel drive space bubble. So like I said in my last video, I'm doing this channel a little bit differently. It is called Give It the Beans, so I'm going to give it a bean score of 0.8 bean. It's got passion behind it, but this thing is kind of slow. It doesn't need to be fast though. Not everything needs to be fast. Yes, it does. I take that back. Turbo this thing. Make it have 400 horsepower. That. A meatball score. This was off-roading. I'm gonna give it a rating of 1.2 meatballs. It could easily be upgraded, and I think it would be a much higher score though. I have faith in this little H-Track system. And lastly, we're going to do a different category, something new for this channel, and that is a mechanic score based on how much it would suck ass to have to work on this vehicle. And on a 1 to 5 scale, 5 being absolutely the easiest car to work on, 1 being an absolute nightmare, I'm going to give this a solid 3 wrenches. I think this would be a fairly easy vehicle to work on, and again, that's something I see across the board with a lot of Hyundai Kia products. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you soon with another. Bye.